he had a tweet about Dave Smith being wrong about you needing God to have an objective morality. I said to him something like, oh, well, you say you know morality, but you're going to get tripped up on certain questions like incest and that kind of thing, cannibalism, necrophilia. Yeah. So that's why we're here today. We're just going to have like a casual discussion about this. From my point of view, there's kind of two main things on the table. The first is your assessment of Dave Smith and whether or not that was fair. And then the second would be more like just us kicking the tires on each other's moral frameworks to see if they're consistent or logical or whatever.
Cool.
Okay. So do you want to start with the, well, I think it makes more sense to start with the Dave Smith thing. So let me pull up your tweet actually real quick for people to see here. Yeah, here we go.
You might hear my cat making weird sounds every once in a while. He's very talkative.
All right. So
just wanting you know.
So you said, I really like Dave Smith, but I cannot believe that he openly admits he thinks you can only know what's right and wrong if you believe in God. That's objectively and irrefutably wrong, and it's self-evident why I'm living proof you don't. This is really, really bad. So Dave's response to you was that you were like misrepresenting what he said, which is that he was talking specifically about objective morality, that you can't have objective morality if there's no God.
Yeah. I don't know. I was talking with my wife to see what she thought. She didn't really think that I was misrepresenting that much, and I don't really think I was either. But if he says I was, okay, then I responded to him, but he didn't respond to me, so it's hard to get a clarification on it.
Well, I mean, so we can watch the clip here. It's like 80 seconds. We'll just watch this and listen to what he actually says, and then we'll analyze it a little bit more.
Yep.
I know you believe in God, but if that's just general theism, by what standard do you ground any objective morality?
I mean, it's a good question. I think that I don't know that me or Andrew had a better answer for that than I always thought before I was a believer in God that it was kind of a silly argument that theists made when they said you can't have morality without a divine power. And the more since I've found God, I've agreed that, yeah, you probably can't. Like there really is no other way to get to.
Okay, I think I see where the confusion is here, or the gray area. He didn't say objective morality. He said you can't have morality without God. But the super chat he's responding to says, what objective standard do you ground moral laws such as? So I guess it's a little bit of a gray area. But
that's what I'm saying. He could have clarified himself, because I didn't really feel I was misrepresenting him. Neither my wife, and she's pretty good at calling my shit.
Okay, so
if he didn't respond, I don't know.
Sure. So you grant that when it comes to objective morality, yes, you do need God?
No, definitely not.
Oh, you don't need God for objective morality?
You don't need God for objective morality, no.
How do you...
I think objective morality comes from biology and from culture. Well, I would say the relative part comes from culture, but there's inherent morality that has sprung up in every single culture independently throughout the world. Like, there's certain things that we all know inherently from our own biology, from having nerves and emotions and feeling pain and understanding reciprocation, like understanding if I feel these things, other people feel these things. I'm not a psychopath, so I actually have empathy, and I know if I get hurt, it sucks and I don't like it. And if I hurt somebody else, they would feel the same thing and they would also think it sucks and wouldn't like it. It's not really that complicated to me. And then on top of that, we have powerful brains where we can use logic and deduction and pattern recognition and all the things that we have inherent in our biology.
Sure, but if you need to reason something out, then it's not necessarily objective. And similarly, if your argument hinges on, well, this is widespread culturally, that also doesn't necessitate that
I'm
it's
saying
objective, right?
part of it is part of our morality is subjective because it comes from our culture, but there's inherent objective morality like killing, stealing, and hurting other people. We all know inherently from being human beings why that is bad. Because of we have those feelings, we know that they feel bad. We know that it makes the world worse the more that these things happen. We watch it happen. We understand why people get put in jail for killing, stealing, and hurting other people.
Sure. But you don't think there could be like a psychopathic personality disorder where they don't understand why it's wrong?
That's the exception. Like when trannies say, like, well, there's exceptions in the sexual, what do they call it? The spectrum.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? They think because there's exceptions, that just disproves the norm.
Yeah.
Like, yes, there is psychopaths, and they probably know what's right and wrong, but they don't give a shit. Like, to them, it's not right and wrong. But they know to everybody else how we see it, because we actually have real emotions and higher brain functions and all the stuff that actually makes us human.
Yeah. Okay. Just for future reference, if you could not say that word, the T slur, the T slur word, if you just say transsexual or something.
We should have gone. Sorry.
It's not a big deal. I just going forward, try to avoid.
This is the thing about me is, sorry for cutting you off there. I don't have any magic words. I say all of the words, and I mean all of the words because I don't believe that.
All right. Yeah. It's fine. I'm okay. Forget it.
No.
Let's get back to the discussion here. So what is morality and what is objective? Because I think that we have a big disconnect on what those words even mean. Because when objective morality means that morality is real, it's like laws of the universe that are beyond men's control. And that's not what you're describing. What you're describing is subjective preferences for how you want society to function.
You think that killing and murdering and hurting people and making other people feel bad, that's subjective?
Yes.
That someone might feel
no. So I believe in objective morality that comes from
maybe
God.
Okay.
I believe in objective reality. So the question is, what is
morality?
Which God?
Like,
what is morality?
Morality is like your code of ethics, like what you is like a hierarchy of what you think is most important to least important and good to bad.
Right. So for you, it's a list of subjective preferences.
No, some of it is, some of it isn't. I said killing, raping, hurting, stealing, anything where there's someone who's a victim, like an actual victim, like physical, or if something's been stolen from them, that's objectively bad. And if aliens came,
what makes it?
They would understand.
What makes it objectively bad?
Pick one. Let's be specific.
Murder. What makes murder objectively bad?
Well, if hurting someone is bad because it feels bad, and if you saw someone else getting hurt, you would understand what they're going through because of our biology. It's obviously much worse to murder somebody. You're taking someone's life so their family doesn't have their family member, whoever it is.
You're just giving me like a rationale though, right? So that's what you do when you try to argue for your subjective preferences, is you reason out an argument of why people should see it that way.
No, I'm using logic and reason, and that's how you deduce anything.
Right. So okay, let's look at a different example, right? If we say like,
you can't just say murder is wrong because God. That's not an argument.
Yeah, you can absolutely.
But God doesn't say that murder is wrong. He says murder is wrong, and also murder is okay. And it depends on which God. Let's be specific about which God you're defending here. Because there's a lot of different
Yeah,
gods.
the Christian God. Hey, hold on. We'll get to that one thing at a time, okay?
Well, that's like a fundamental thing to start with.
Right.
Which
so,
God are you defending?
but we haven't gotten to an agreement on what it even means for something to be objective. So let's look at something other than morality, like the laws of physics, right? So gravity is an objective law of the universe. It doesn't matter if you believe in it. It doesn't matter if you can make a rational explanation for why it is or isn't there. It's just there. It doesn't give a shit what you think or how you feel.
Exactly.
Right. That's what objective is. That's something that's
Perfect.
objective.
Yeah. And that's exactly what murder and hurting people and stealing and raping people objectively, whether you think it is or it isn't, it is because of the obvious harms that it causes on all the different levels. Right?
But why is harm immoral?
That's like the definition of immoral.
For a liberal like you, yes. For a
I'm a
liberal,
liberal.
there's only two questions, which is harm.
I'm an atheist and a liberal now.
Yeah. The only things liberals care about is the question of harm and the question of consent. And you can easily understand their whole moral framework if you understand those two things about
That's cool. I'm not liberal, so let's deal with what I actually think.
your morality is liberal, and that's the most important thing about a person's ideological
My
disposition.
morality
their
is
moral-
my morality
their
that I
moral
came up with on
framework.
my own through self-reflection and thinking about it. And
That's what every liberal says. It's just
are
rationalism.
you saying you
right?
didn't think about it? You didn't use rationality?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that it comes from something beyond that, though. I reason my way into beyond.
What's
reason.
beyond that?
God.
Are
Yes.
you saying you talk to God, or is it because you read the Bible?
Both.
So
God
because
talks-
you read the Bible, you know what's wrong?
And
So
God
what about
talks to us.
necrophilia?
That's where our intuition comes
Does
from.
God say necrophilia is bad?
Yeah, he does.
No, he doesn't. I just did a whole bunch of research on it.
Right. He does because he speaks to us through our intuitions, our moral intuitions. That's where
But
they
he
come
just
from.
happened to leave that out of the Bible, just like he left out germs and viruses and stuff like that.
Yeah.
He just happened to have the exact same morality and level of intelligence as the people who wrote the book. And then the people who translated it, and then the people who edited it, and then the people who compiled it.
Well,
and then
the
people who edited
morality
it
of
again.
God doesn't change, right? So
Of course it does. There's a million different gods.
no.
Yeah, there is. There's like how many different gods is there, you think? 3,000? 4,000? So morality is subjective depending on the God that you believe in. And then it depends on the time that you're living in because Christians don't believe the same things they believed 10 years ago, 20 years ago. You're watching your religion. What are you, Catholic?
No,
What are you?
Protestant.
Protestant? Oh, okay. So you don't like the Pope?
I know I don't have anything against Catholics.
Okay, well, how do you feel about the Pope being woke and all these churches being gay and flying like every fucking? Oh, sorry, are we allowed to swear?
Yeah, you can swear. That's fine. The Pope just
Every,
doubled down on saying there's too much faggotry in the church. Like he literally just doubled down on that. But I mean, I don't care. I don't care about the Pope. Look. We're
Yeah, there is too much
We're
faggotry.
all over the place here. Let's look at something.
I
a
can't
little-
stand Pride Month or Pride season, but I'm
Yeah.
liberal. I'm super liberal.
Well, okay. So why is homosexuality immoral?
It's not. It's inherently. Even animals fuck each other.
Come on, man. You're a fucking liberal, dude. You're as liberal as it gets.
Yeah, for sure.
But you just said homosexuality isn't immoral.
It's not inherently immoral. No,
Okay,
it's a
why-
pretty natural thing.
Oh, because it's natural.
I can give you even like reasons why I think evolutionarily it makes sense.
That's okay. Why is necrophilia
Yeah,
immoral?
well, you wouldn't want to hear that argument, right? Why is necrophilia bad? How about you answer my? Do you want to hear my reason for why I think gay people are not immoral, or are you just going to laugh like a fucking retarded hyena?
Go ahead.
Thought this was going to be a discussion. Start
I
laughing
know,
like a
but you're
jackass.
really bugging. You're really annoying me, man. You're not biting
Dude, you
the
start
bullets on
calling
your
me a
own
liberal. You
beliefs.
already insulted me on Twitter. I'm being pretty fucking chill, dude.
You're being annoying as fuck, actually. You're a fucking fedora tipping neckbeard.
Yeah, for sure. That's
Mm-hmm.
definitely it. You little white collar dweeb that fucking looks like he works in a cubicle all day.
Okay.
Never fucking been in a fight in your life.
I've been in multiple fights.
Yeah, and you bet you got your fucking ass beat, didn't you? That's why you're a fucking little pussy ass Christian.
Oh, that's why.
Gotta follow the crowd, right? Can't think for yourself. You need to be part of a group, collectivist, little fucking communist.
Yeah, well,
you want to start calling each other fucking labels,
rational
or do you
thinkers
want to
like
have a
Mr.
discussion?
Liberal over here. Why don't you tell us why homosexuality is not immoral?
Because it's useful, especially the way that we evolved in hunter-gatherers. When the men had to go hunt, they would have to go on trips usually, and they would be gone for months sometimes. And you would want some dudes around the camp that could take care of shit and fucking do the things that women couldn't do, like their version of not being able to open jars and shit like that. And you would want them to be able to protect them from animals and possibly other tribes that came and try and fucking rape their women and kill them. And you could trust those guys to stay there and not fuck your woman, not fuck your wife. Is that not logical, or is that...
What are you talking about, man? That's not
I'm asking you a question. Is that not logical?
So you're saying throughout all of history, there's been like these faggot phalanxes who guard the village?
I'm saying that's why it developed.
What?
That's probably why it developed.
That's insane. That's the dumbest fucking thing
We're herd animals,
heard.
And there's a reason for all adaptations, isn't there? Unless you don't believe in evolution.
So there is a reason for adaptations, but there's not a reason for every deviant behavior that man is capable of.
I agree. Well, there's a reason it happened. It doesn't mean it's always useful or good. Like we adapted to murder. That's not always good. Sometimes it's good. If someone's trying to take your family out and you murder them, that's good.
Okay, I just want to point out that you're all over the place in the sense of, first you said that morality is objective because of harm. Then you started talking about utility and something being useful. And there was a third one.
No,
I
didn't say that it was useful.
That's what you said for homosexuality. You said homosexuality isn't immoral because it's useful. That's exactly what you said.
I said that's why it developed and is natural. It's not immoral because no one's being hurt.
What about all the diseases?
You don't think fucking straight people give diseases? They fuck each other in the ass all the time. This whole generation apparently is eating ass.
So sodomy is immoral when straight people do it too. Yeah, you're right there.
That is also... fucking my wife in the ass is immoral?
Yes, actually.
Jesus, so you're openly saying that you want to control what I do in my bedroom?
Why is necrophilia immoral?
Is it moral because, number one, that's somebody's family member and that's causing them harm to see that or hear about that or know that that happened. And then obviously fucking diseases and shit are disgusting. And you could pass that on. It could create like plagues and shit. Who fucking knows?
Yeah,
so, it's hilarious.
Well, yeah, right.
You picked a good one to laugh at, buddy.
Necrophilia is immoral because of diseases, but homosexuality
Why is necrophilia
and
bad then? Because it doesn't say it's bad in the Bible. So now you're left out in the cold, dude. You might actually have to think for yourself.
No, I don't have to think. I just use my intuition. I told you that already.
Yeah, I believe in intuition. I'll definitely buy that. Okay. And I'm not joking. I believe in intuition for sure.
Good. So, but the point is you're not being consistent.
Oh, I'm being consistent. I judge everything on its own merits. I don't have a one-size-fits-all ideology or a checklist that I got from a book that I read. I judge everything on its own
like
situation.
The liberal orthodoxy of the day.
I'm so liberal. Fuck the faggots, right?
What do you call yourself?
I call myself my name. I'm a human being. I use descriptions and shit, but I don't use labels.
Okay,
I don't find that shit's useful.
Well, okay, you said you're
You know who Robert Anton Wilson is?
You said you're not an atheist, so what are you?
I just told you. I don't have a label. Ask me questions on certain topics, and I'll give you specific answers that I've come up with on my own through self-reflection and thinking about it.
That's
and my intuition.
Bullshit. That's weasel bullshit.
I know, it's terrible. Yeah. I have to have an ideology or label, otherwise I can't think. Wait a minute, that doesn't make any sense. It's the complete opposite. Having to actually think is the actual way that you're supposed to do things. Just having an ideology or a religion thinking for you isn't actually thinking.
Under these different labels so that
if you grew up in the Amazon, you'd have completely different morals because of the way that you think. If you grew up in ancient Egypt, your morals would be completely different. If you grew up in the Spanish Inquisition, your morals would be completely different. And
Right, but
you can still be a Christian in all of these different situations.
Okay, listen, even if I grant that that's true, that I would have different moral views on certain things,
We both would.
That doesn't mean that morality is different, because morality doesn't care what I think.
No, I agree, but religious morality is. That's what I just made the point of. Sorry, that's the point I just made. Depending on the time and place that you're living in, as a Christian, your morals would be different. The popes were all, you know the history of the fucking actual religion? Like, the popes were all totally different. Some of them were fucking people all over the place. There's all these like gay bathhouse shit going on in the Vatican. Little boy fucking in the church all over the place. There's wars being started because of the popes and religions and shit.
This is nonsense. Your whole argument is that murder is objectively immoral, but murder happens all the time, right? So I can't point to that and be like, "Oh no, look, you're wrong because people commit murder."
Are you?
You see how fucking stupid
We're not
that
moving
would
on
sound?
from this. Do you admit that religious morality changes and has always changed? Just specifically your religion, just the fact that you're a Protestant, you're not the original Christians. You're not. That's not the original church. You don't even believe the same shit as the Catholics. How can you say it's objective? Within their own religion, you have two sets of fucking morality. You have two totally different orthodoxies and systems and shit.
What are a moral disagreement that a Protestant and a Catholic have?
I don't really know. All I know, the main thing is that you don't believe in the Pope and you don't believe in the Roman Catholic Church.
So what?
I just gave you two examples. Maybe laugh after I give the examples.
Well, how is that related
to see if
morality?
I actually made sense or not?
How is my morality hinging on my belief in the Pope? Like, I'm laughing because the shit you're saying is nonsense, dude. It doesn't. It's total fucking nonsense.
No, I'm saying you have a different fucking religion than the original religion. There's no differences in the religions at all as far as morals. It's the exact same thing. So why are you different? Tell me the difference.
What do you mean? What difference?
Why are you a Protestant and not a Catholic? And if they're exactly the same, why would you be not a Catholic? That's the original church, is it not?
I actually, you know what, man? I don't like labels. I'm just like...
You just said you're a Protestant.
Everything I believe, I just came up with on my own because I'm so fucking smart.
You just said you're a Protestant.
I think so hard.
You're making, whether you like the people that make fun of the Freedom Convoy, freedom. Thinking for yourself's retarded. Oh my God, dude. You're a male bimbo, dude. Holy shit. Well, think about what you're laughing at. You're laughing that I'm saying I think for myself and I don't have the label. I don't use ideology and I don't have a religion. I actually use my brain
So you're an atheist.
and thinking about stuff on each situation rather than having a checklist and saying, cause God, or cause communism, or cause Hitler,
In
or
what way
cause
are
the
you
Pope.
not an atheist?
Because I don't know if God is real or not. God could definitely exist. Whether or not it's your God, that's a fucking very low likelihood.
So you're agnostic.
I don't use labels. I just... You're like a fucking liberal, dude. You're calling me a liberal. You argue like one.
You are a liberal.
Okay.
Except, you know what? I respect liberals more when they bite the bullet on the necrophilia and incest questions and just say, like, yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. Right? Like, your argument hinged on you're going to upset their family members. But what if their family members don't know? What if no diseases are spread because you sanitize everything?
So if you
first?
steal something from somebody and they don't know, it's not bad? Like that? I gave you objective, logical reasons.
No.
for
Those
why I think
aren't
it's bad.
objective. Those are conditionals. You don't know the difference between an objective and a conditional.
Yeah, I
Right,
do.
because
I gave you objective
So hold
reasons
on.
for what I
Man,
think.
hear me out. A person could dig up a corpse and fuck it, and nobody else knows about it, right? You
Yeah,
grant
God
that.
left that out of the Bible. He didn't mention that was a
Okay,
problem. Right?
Don't weasel and dodge. Just deal with what's on the
I'm
table.
directly attacking you with that one.
Do you
You're
grant?
saying you get your morals from
I'm asking
religion.
you a really simple
But your
fucking
religion
question. If
doesn't
you can't
have
answer this
anything
question,
about
I'm going to end the
about
stream.
necrophilia. Go ahead. I don't give a shit.
What?
Go ahead, man. Do it.
Go ahead. What? Oh,
Rage quit.
okay. What did you say before that?
I said your religion doesn't say anything about necrophilia
Okay,
being bad.
put that. I'm not asking about that. I'm asking what you believe.
You're saying
I'm
get
asking
your
you if you
morals from your
believe it's
religion.
possible to fuck a corpse and nobody else knows about it. That's all I'm asking you right now.
Yeah, I also brought up how it gives diseases, which you could then spread to other people and get
Right.
them sick.
Could you hypothetically sanitize the corpse so that there's no diseases?
I don't know, dude. You tell me.
Yes. Let's say yes for the sake of the thought experiment.
Okay.
What's immoral about it now?
I already told you.
What?
You're like, it's the same thing as if someone spray painted your house. Like, no one's actually fucking being physically hurt, but it's still fucked up.
That's your argument? It's fucked up? You're dumbfounded right now. This is what I said in the tweet. I said you'll get dumbfounded on these certain issues, and you're dumbfounded right now. You're literally just like, it's fucked up. What happened to I've reasoned everything out because I'm such a rational, independent thinker?
I gave
now
you
your
my reasons.
argument
We're
is
going
that's
back over
fucked
them
up.
again.
What?
I could just repeat exactly what I said before if you want.
That it's fucked up?
No, what I said before.
I don't think that's very
that you're
compelling.
causing somebody harm, their family, and you're for sure gonna well, not for sure, but you could possibly get diseases, spread that shit around. That harms people.
So
harm is being caused.
Right. So it's harm is potentially being caused, but it's not objectively immoral because you could take those caveats out or those conditions out, and then your argument is that necrophilia is now moral. We've made moral necrophilia because we've removed the harm and the disease.
You're proposing that, okay, so let's say the person has no family. That's what you're saying, right? Like, so no one would get hurt.
Yeah.
Like knowing about it. It's even better than no one knowing, because no one knowing, I don't buy that one.
What do you mean? You don't think that people can do things in private and no one else knows?
No,
about
I mean,
it?
I don't buy that. It's not a good argument. It's better to say they don't have any family, because whether someone knows that their dead dad got fucked or not, it's still fucked up. It's still bad. It's still causing harm to someone. If they did find out.
Causing harm to who? Causing harm to who?
To the family member who found out that their dead dad or dead mom got fucked by some creepy
You're
weirdo.
literally too fucking retarded to understand what the words "don't know" mean, right? So we established they don't know that their family member's body got fucked, right? So, and then I'm asking you, where is the harm? And you're like, well, because they found out about it.
I'm saying even if they don't find out about it, there's still harm being caused because that's someone's family member and you're fucking with them.
What is the harm though?
It's insanely disrespectful, which we all understand on an inherent level, to fuck somebody's dead corpse or fuck somebody's family's dead corpse.
So just to be clear, people can be harmed by things they don't know about. So if I think about you in my head, if I think disrespectful things about you in my head, that's immoral.
Mm-hmm. It could be, depending on how bad it is, I guess, or what you're actually thinking. If you're thinking you don't like my shirt, it's not really immoral.
Okay, but you do agree thoughts can be immoral.
Well, of course, yeah.
Oh, okay, well, that's good. I agree.
So thought can be immoral. Fucking a dead body is pretty goddamn obviously immoral. For the same fucking reason.
That's not an argument, though.
Neither is cuz God. Let's hear your reason for why necrophilia is bad. And you can't use the Bible because it's not in there.
Because God gave us.
Is that why?
No, the Bible. So the Bible tells us that our moral intuitions come from God. That is in the Bible, and we have a moral intuition.
I guess it's true then. Jesus walked on water, came back from the dead too.
Well, that's not. And then as soon as I'm like, well, this isn't. You're like, oh, well, that is true then.
Okay.
You're just all
why
over
is
the place,
why
man.
is necrophilia bad from your perspective? Let's hear this.
I just told you
my
intuition tells me. I told you that already.
Yeah, but we both know intuition can be subjective and is subjective.
Yeah, so this
Fully
is
subjective.
this is always the argument that comes up. Well, what if your intuition tells you that being a serial killer is good? But it doesn't. It doesn't.
Do you think serial killers don't think that it's good to be a serial killer? Why would they do it if they didn't think it was good?
They do it because it's bad. Because they want to do something bad.
And they think that bad is good. They openly say that. You ever seen that show Mindhunter? Pretty interesting. Goes through all the cases of those guys that talk to these serial killers to see what they actually thought, why they did what they did, what was going on in their brain, and all that shit. It's pretty fucking interesting.
It's just mental gymnastics, man.
Mm-hmm.
Wrong is wrong.
Yeah. Certain things, wrong is wrong. But humans are animals. And the reason religion was created was to control people and to have like a framework for how to think and how to behave, which was created by a bunch of people 2,000 years ago. And that's why it is their morals and their way of thinking. That's why it's like, don't covet your neighbor's donkey and shit rather than his fucking Lamborghini. Because it was created at the time, and they used metaphors and shit at the time. It wasn't written by God.
Blowing my
it was written
mind
by
right
people.
now that the Bible is historically accurate. Well, okay, what if Jesus did walk on
I didn't
water?
say it's historically
did you ever
accurate.
ask
I said
yourself
it's
that?
not written by God.
What if Jesus was real and did all those things? Do you ever
What
think,
if Paul Atreides was real and he did all those things?
well, there's no historical record of Paul Atreides, right?
There's no historical record of Jesus. There's the Bible that was written like 30, 40, 50 years after him. Apparently it wasn't that big a deal at the time, even though they had lots of record keeping and people writing books and shit.
There is a what are you talking about?
The Bible was written way after Jesus died, right? Like 40, 50 years.
Right, but there's lots of historical records of Jesus being around.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's
Name
like
them.
50 different accounts.
Name them. Name the best ones.
Name the best ones?
Give me the top two.
Dude, this is so like all over the place. Come on, man. You're just grasping right now.
That's definitely what I'm doing. Give me the top two, dude. What are the top two? Come on, man. Prove it.
Prove that there's a historical record of Jesus?
Give me two examples of what you just said.
Why don't you just Google it, nigga?
Are you being a little bitch right now, dude?
No, I'm saying, why don't you Google it and tell me if like type in
just
historical records of Jesus into Google.
What, are you talking about the Shroud of Turin or something? The Virgin Mary and toast? What examples are you doing, dude? Give me two, man. You're saying there's 50 amazing examples that are historical records that prove Jesus existed and did what he did. Give me the top two. Give me one. Give me the best one. I'm being honest. I'm hoping you know more about it than I do. Just give me one.
So I'm just going to read you the Wikipedia page. Okay?
You just had to Google it. So you believe in God so much that you can't even fucking tell me off the top of your head the best example that the living embodiment of God, or I don't know what your version of it is, because it's relative depending on the religion or whatever. Jesus.
I know you think this is like a big own that you're getting right now because I pulled up Wikipedia,
logic,
but it's not an actual argument. This is totally fallacious reasoning. Right?
Okay, read your Wikipedia, dude.
Okay, so this
read your Wikipedia.
Right. Scholars regard the question of historicity as generally settled in the scholarship in the early 20th century. And scholars agree that a Jewish man named Jesus of Nazareth did exist in the Herodian kingdom of Judea in the 1st century. Since the 18th century, 3 separate scholarly quests for the historical Jesus have taken place, each with distinct characteristics and based on different research criteria, which were often developed during that phase. Currently, the modern scholarly research on the historical Jesus focuses on what is historically probable or plausible about Jesus.
That's not an example at all of what you said, dude. That's just gobbledygook from fucking Wikipedia at the top of the.
Bye, faggot. I can't do it. I can't listen to this fucking retard for one more fucking minute. Bye. Bye, faggot. Oh, man. Bye. Bye, faggot. Oh, man. Crazy. Yeah, the Shroud of Turin is real. I don't know why he's laughing at that. I mean, that was just so frustrating. Like, oh, Jesus was real. Like, what if Paul Atreides was real? And I'm just like, well, there's a lot of historical evidence that Jesus was real, so it's a little bit different. And then he's just like what? Like what? Name two. Name the top two. Oh my God. All right.